So in today's session, let's talk about the sales process and the purchasing process. First, let's talk about purchasing process. Say, I'm doing this course. I may think I need one laptop. Okay, what I need laptop. I'm identifying I required one laptop to do some practice and to attend these classes. When I need laptop, what I have to do is I have to contact my parents. Say I'm a student, I just completed my education, I'm planning to do this course. Definitely I have to contact my parents to take some approvals. I don't have money. So I have to take the approvals from my parents. If I say I need laptop to do this course, definitely they'll say okay to go ahead. So once they say okay, that I treat as approvals. I got approvals from my parents. The next task is what I should do is I have to go and visit shops, or I'll start finding the laptop online. Okay, I'll start working on that process online. It could be physically, you may go and visit shops, or you can plan to get the laptop online by placing the order. Let's take the simple case. You started visiting the shops. Okay, so I have to go and visit shops. When I visit the shops, I have to give my requirement. I need laptop. Which laptop? Say Dell laptop. And what is the configuration required? So that all I have to give to shop guide. Based on that, they'll respond to us. That means I have to talk to the shops with my specification requirement. So when I talk to any shop, this is my requirement. Accordingly, they'll give the quotations. Okay, we get the quotation. After getting the quotation, if my knowledge is enough to take the decision based on the quotation, okay, or else I may take my friend's support. Okay, this is the quotations I got from the different shops. So this is a configuration. Actually, this is my requirement, but this is a quotation I got. These are the slight changes, what I need and what they're offering. This is the price and all. I have to look into all those points and I should take the decision. Who's giving the best quotation? Ideally here, since I'm individual, I'll always look at price only. Who is giving a less price? I may ask for one processor, they may suggest a different processor, and these could be slightly different. For that, if I'm not good enough, I may take someone's help in that regards. That's how final I can come to the conclusion. So which is the best quotation? So I'll get the quotations from multiple shops. Final, I'll choose the best quotation. Okay, I'll choose the best quotation. After choosing the best quotation, I'll buy the laptop from the respective shop. I'll buy the laptop and I'll make the payment also. That's all. So right from identifying the requirement and taking the approvals, visiting the shops, getting the quotations and choosing the best quotation and buying the laptop and making the payment, nobody is going to involve. I'm only the one person who is involving in this process. The reason this is very specific to one person requirement. If you take the same case in case of any organization, multiple departments will come into the picture. Multiple departments will come into the picture. As per organization process, every department will have their own responsibility. But here, I'm only the one person who is taking care of everything, right from requirement to identifying the requirement to, okay, contacting the vendors. Here, vendors means say shops. Contacting the vendors and getting the quotations, taking the decision, buying the laptop, making the payment. In all these activities, I'm only the one person is involving. In case of organizations, multiple departments should involve. Every department will have their own responsibility. Now, if organization is going to buy the laptops and if they are going to make the payment to the suppliers, if they are going to identify the requirement, before we say laptop, they have to identify what they have to buy. So what are the departments are involved? What process they have to follow? Let's try to understand. So this is very important for us. If you are going to learn financials applications or SCM application, supply chain applications, these purchasing process or sales process you should understand thoroughly. If you are going to learn HCM, human capital management, or projects or other different application, you no need to focus on this. You may learn finance or SCM applications. You should very much okay with this two processes, sales and purchase processes. So that is the reason we are going to discuss about it. Once you understand these two processes, you will be very much confident when we are going to work on our financial application, how the process flows, how the business takes place across the department, what the department does, which activity, this and all we will be very much sure. Yep, we'll go and see in case of the same requirement and process, if organization is going to do, how they are going to handle, we'll look into that. So these are the basic departments which will involve in this process. So let's take simple example. Say we got an order from the customer. Okay, so organization got order from the customer. Order from customer for 500 laptops. Okay, one organization got order from the customer for 500 laptops. When they get order from the customer, what they have to do is, ideally they have to check the stock availability within the inventory department. Okay, this is the inventory department. So inventory department, they are checking the stock availability. As per inventory department, only 100 laptops are available. Okay, they got order from the customer for 500 laptops. As per inventory department or say warehouse, within the warehouse they have only 100 laptops. But customer order for 500. Now if they want to fulfill the customer order, if they want to supply that 500 laptops their customer, they have to get that material ready first of all. So now what inventory department will do is, so whenever they get the order from the customer, who get the order? Sales department. The sales department will contact inventory department saying that we got order from the customer for 500. Do we have a stock availability or not? When they check the stock availability within the inventory, they may identify only 100 laptops are available. Now what inventory department can do is, they can raise the requisition. Okay, they can raise the requisition. So that you can call as purchase requisition. The inventory department will take the responsibility of raising the requisition. Raising the requisition means they'll be addressing, we need 400 laptops. There is order from the customer for 500. We have only 100 stock. We need 400, 4 more 100 laptops so that we can fulfill the customer order. So inventory department should take the responsibility of raising the requisition. Okay, so inventory will raise the purchase requisition. Okay, you can call as PR, purchase requisition. They'll raise the requisition. Within the requisition, they clearly specify what item they require. Item is laptop. How much quantity they require. How much quantity? 400 quantity as per our example. By which date they require? So and so date. Customer definitely they'll ask. They may need within 10 days. If they need within the 10 days, the inventory department should plan to get that material before 10 days so that they can keep those stock ready. They can supply within the time. So they raise the purchase requisition by including all the details. If required, they can include the 400 laptops they want to buy from which supplier also. But in the purchase requisition, it is not mandatory. They have to specify the supplier. Depending on the situation, they can specify, please buy these 400 laptops, so and so supplier also they can include. So whenever there is requirement, okay, what inventory department has to do? They have to raise the purchase requisition. And once the purchase requisition is raised by inventory department, okay, that has to be approved by inventory department, authority, whatever, who has that authority to approve the requisitions within the inventory department. Maybe inventory manager, warehouse manager has to approve it, or say warehouse operational manager has to approve it. Anyone who's the right person to approve if any requirement within the organization, and the same time if any shortage within the warehouse. So that should be approvals. And when there is demand in the organization, the inventory department should take the responsibility of raising the requisition for the same required quantity, and that purchase requisition need to be approved by purchase inventory department. And apart from what inventory department does, they maintain the stock. That is a primary responsibility. What is the purpose of warehouse? To maintain the stock. Okay, they maintain the stock. So what are the cases inventory department can raise the requisition? Okay, one could be orders from the customer. If any order from the customer, they have to raise the requisition. If any order from the customer, if any shortage within the inventory, they have to raise the purchase requisition. Another case could be there may not be order from the customer, there could be requirement internally. Okay, within the organization, they need few laptops. They need few laptops or any other items they require, other stock they require. In that case also they have to raise the requisition. It could be demand from external demand or internal demand. External demand means there may be orders from the customer. Internal demand in the sense there may not be orders from the customer, there could be requirement within the organization. Okay, maybe they want to move the other warehouse is requesting to send so and so material. That could be one case, or else within the organization, if you are doing some manufacturing activities, you may need raw material. So in that case also, to purchase the raw material also, you have to raise the purchase requisition. So there will be other number of activities where inventory department should involve, but to understand this process flow, let's take these few points. So inventory department responsibility is maintaining the stock. If any shortage, they have to raise the purchase requisition and they should get the approvals for the same. Once inventory department get the approval from the concerned person, what they'll do is they'll pass that information to purchasing department. Inventory department responsibility is maintaining the stock and raising the requisition if there is any shortage. That's all. And any purchases should be handled by purchasing department. Now what inventory department should do is they have to pass the purchase requisition information to purchasing department. When they pass that purchase requisition information to purchasing department after getting the approval, that means the approved purchase requisition information they'll pass to purchasing department. Whenever purchasing department get this approved requisition information from inventory department, what they have to do is they have to, based on this approved purchase requisition, they'll start involving in the process called as requesting for quotations. Okay, the purchasing department will raise the RFQ, request for quotation. There are other points also which we have to understand which department exactly do this activity. First, let's see what are the different activities can be handled by purchasing department. Later we segregate. Okay, we'll go and segregate those. So based on the approved purchase requisition, the purchasing department can request for quotations. Okay, they'll just start contacting the supplier saying that we need 400 Dell laptops. This is a configuration. Please provide the quotation. That's how they request the suppliers to provide the quotations, which we call as RFQ, request for quotations. When purchasing department will request the quotations, okay, the suppliers will respond. Okay, they'll respond and they'll provide the quotations. The purchasing department can request to provide the quotations multiple vendors. Ideally, we don't go and request one supplier to provide the quotation. The organization point of view, they'll keep in touch with many vendors and they'll ask those vendors to provide the quotations. Then the vendors will provide the quotations and the purchasing department will receive the quotations. Okay, they'll receive quotations. After receiving the quotations, they have to look into the quotations. Which vendor is offering the best price? Say one vendor is offering one laptop is, okay, say $700. One vendor is offering each laptop at $700. Other vendor is offering at $600 only. When they look into that price, yes, one vendor is 700, other vendor is 600, but the terms could be different. The vendor who is offering at 700, they might be giving the time to pay 2 or 3 months, say 3 months. The vendor who is offering at each laptop price at $700, they are saying you can pay after 3 months. The vendor who is offering $600, the payment may be immediate. And these are the points which the purchasing department will look into and they'll take the decision. Identifying these points, which vendor is giving at what price, which terms they are accepting, and other points also they'll look into. Okay, so this all verification, they'll look into all this information. Who is providing best price, who is giving the best terms, they have to look into all these points. That process we call as quotation analysis. You can call as quotation analysis or simply you can say quote analysis. Okay, simply you can call as quote analysis. Quotation short name is quote. Quotation analysis. They do the quotation analysis. What are the quotations they are receiving from the different vendors? They look into all those quotations that we call as quotation analysis. When they do the analysis, they can identify the best quotation. Which vendor, which supplier is giving us best price and best terms, accordingly they'll choose the best quotation. The purchasing department should choose best quotations. They may choose one or multiple best quotations from the different vendors, or else they may choose one quotation from specific vendor also. That's all about how they are going to, from whom they want to buy that laptops. Accordingly they can take the decision. After choosing the best quotation, they'll place the order to supplier. They'll place order. What they are placing order for what purpose? To purchase. So that order you can call it as purchase order. The purchasing department will place purchase order. We call as PO, purchase order. Okay, they'll place the order to supplier. When they are placing the order, internally the order should get approved. Okay, so the order whatever they are going to place to the supplier, that should be approved by purchase department manager or supervisor who got authority to approve the purchase orders. Okay, so the approval is also required. So once purchase department would place the order to supplier, what supplier would do? In the purchase order, the purchasing department will specify they are placing the order to which supplier and what material they required, how much quantity they required, what is the price, what price they required, to which location supplier has to send the invoice, to which location supplier has to ship the material, all the details on which date they have to supply, everything they will include within the purchase order. They are placing the order by addressing what they need, when they need, how much they need, where they need, all the details they include in the purchase order itself. So once the purchase order is issued by supplier, as per purchase order, they'll supply the material. Once our organization will receive that material, we have to record GRN. GRN stands for Goods Receipt Note. or simply you can call as receipt. Okay, so reality that will be the material will be received by inventory department. Yes, you can just to understand this process flow, you can take the material will be received by inventory, or simply you can say our organization will receive the material that will be monitored by purchasing department. So based on the purchase order, we'll get the material from the supplier and we have to record the GR, goods receipt note. After receiving the material, if any damage, say you received 400 laptops, 2 laptops got damaged. In that case, the purchase department, anyway, they'll keep in touch with the vendor, they'll involve in the purchase returns. Okay, purchase returns. They'll return that material which item is not in the good condition or which got damaged. So ideally these two activities can be handled by inventory department only. We'll receive the material into inventory and the returns also can be done by inventory department. This you can take under this. Okay, but this purchasing department also will involve in these activities. Okay, so that is the reason we are taking. Okay, just notice the point. Anyway, these will be done by inventory department only. So the purchasing department will take the responsibility of handling these activities. Even physically, the activities takes place in the inventory department. Now, if the organization is very big, they can have a separate department to do all these activities. So activities, requesting for quotations, receiving the quotation, performing the quotation analysis and choosing the best quotation. These all can be done by sourcing department. Or else normal scenarios, these activities also can be done by purchasing department. If they have a separate department called as sourcing, the sourcing department will take care of these activities. Okay, request for quotations, receiving, analyzing, choosing. Once the sourcing department will take care of those activities, then purchasing department simply place the order to selected quotation. They'll monitor that. Okay, whether the supplier is supplied and our organization is received. These details they'll take care of. Okay. So this is the point we have to understand. Here simply you can take the purchasing department will take the responsibility of these all activities. So once material is received, if required we'll return, otherwise we don't return. Okay, that is not a standard business process, receiving and returning to the suppliers, right? Say we received the material. So as per purchase order, we'll specify to which location they have to send the material. Accordingly, supplier will supply the material. Once our organization would receive the material, we have to create the GR. Now what purchasing department will do is, the GR and information they'll share with the payables department. The purchasing department can purchase, that's all. They cannot make the payments. Payments should be processed by payables department. The purchasing department will share this GRN information with the payables department by saying from so and so supplier, so and so quantity we purchased and we just committed with that supplier to pay within 10 days. Please take care of it. So here purchasing department is taking the initiative based on the approved purchase requisition which they are getting. Based on the approved purchase requisition, they are raising the RFQ. Now based on the GRN, goods receipt note, the payables department will create purchase invoice. Okay, purchase invoice. The purchasing department will pass GRN information to payables department. Based on the GRN information, the payables department should create purchase invoice. Within the purchase invoice, they'll capture the details like to which supplier we have to pay, how much amount we have to pay, when we have to pay, how we have to pay, through check or cash or electronic payments process. Okay, so to where we have to send the payment, all the details they'll take into purchase invoice. Say as per purchase invoice, we have to pay within 10 days. Okay, so on or before the due date, Okay, 10 days is due date. Within 10 days we have to pay. The payables department will process the payment. Okay, payables department will process the payment to supplier. So who is raising the requirement? Inventory. They are passing that information to purchasing department. They are handling all these activities. They are passing the details to the payables department to make the payment. So based on the GRN, payables department is creating the purchase invoice and they are making the payment. So now we are taking the example of laptop. We are purchasing the laptop to sell to our customer. Sometimes organization can purchase assets also. So organization require land. If they want to purchase the land, same, they'll raise the requisition. So how many square feet land they require. And they'll get internally approvals. Then that goes to purchasing department. Okay, the purchasing department will start contacting the maybe agents or any real estate company. They'll contact and they'll give address the requirement. So in which area, how many square feet land they required, and other specifications also they'll give. So then that real estate company, they'll provide the information saying that as in the so and so square feet, this is the price, etc. That's how they do the analysis of the quotations which they get. Finally, they place the order to buy that land. And once organizations purchase the land, that need to be paid by payables department only. If payables department is creating the purchase invoice, the purchase invoice is related to different kind of scenarios. One is the purchase invoice may be related to item purchase, inventory item, say laptop. If not item, it may be related to some expense. If organization is spending some expense, the payables department should pay to the suppliers for the same expense. The purchase invoice may be related to item purchases, or purchase invoice may be related to expenses, or else the purchase invoice may be related to services. Our organization taken some services from some vendor. Our organization rendered some services from vendor. In that case also, that we have to, payables department has to make the payment. So services, the purchase invoice may be related to service related payment. To make the services related payments, you may create the purchase invoice. Or else the purchase invoice may be related to asset purchase. Our organization is purchasing one car or one machinery or land or building. In those scenarios also, whatever it may be, you may, organization may purchase item, and the organization may spend expense, or organization may take services, or they may purchase asset. In all the scenarios, payables department should take the responsibility of making the payment. If they want to make the payment, there should be proof that they can create with the purchase invoice. That means the purchase invoice can relate it to item or expense or service or asset. If purchase invoice is related to asset, the payables department should pass that information to asset department, saying our organization purchased one building and please record in your books. So if purchase invoice is related to asset purchase, the payables department will pass that information to asset department. Based on that information, asset department will create asset in their books. They'll create asset in their books, and based on the usage, say our organization purchased one building, that has to be recorded in the asset department books. So who has to inform to asset department? Payables department. So payables department will pass that information to asset department. Asset department will make a note of what they purchased and they'll record, and based on the usage, they'll calculate the depreciation. Okay. Asset department will maintain all the assets and they'll calculate the depreciation based on the usage or other terms. So if purchase invoice is related to item purchase or expense purchase or service related purchase, payables department is not going to share this information to asset department. If purchase invoice related to asset purchase, then only they'll share with the asset department. So laptop we should not treat as asset. If you are going to use in our company laptop, then that will become asset. Laptop you are buying to sell. So that is a inventory item only. You are not going to use in our organization. So that should not be maintained within the asset department. Now the payables department will share this payment information with the cash department. Okay. The payables department will share the payment information with cash department. What is the responsibility of cash department? The cash department responsibility is they'll maintain the all books. I mean to say bank accounts. What are the bank accounts are owned by company? All the bank accounts need to be managed by cash department. Okay, cash department take care of the bank accounts which are owned by company, and other activities they involve in the bank statement reconciliations. So what they have to do is, as per payables payment, how many payments are processed? As per the bank statement, how many payments are reflecting? Take simple example. As per payables, 20 payments are processed. And as per bank statement, as per bank statement, 15 payments are reflecting. Now cash department responsibility is, one side they have to take the records from the payables department, other side they take the record from the bank, nothing but bank statement. So always they have to make sure that whatever reality they are doing in the payables department, the same reality should reflect in the bank statement. As per payables department, they process 20 payments, but as per bank statement shows for the current month only 15 payments are processed. They have to find out the reasons. What could be the reasons? As per payables department, 20 payments are processed and all the payments they have to process through bank only, but 15 only reflecting. So they'll identify the reasons. The reason could be, yes, payables department is processed 20 payments. They issue 20 checks to their suppliers, but only 15 checks are submitted and cleared. Remaining 5 checks may be in the clearing process, or case could be suppliers not yet submitted, okay, to encash those checks. They'll identify. Take another case. As per payables, only 10 payments are processed, but your bank statement showing 15 payments are processed. How come additional 5 payments are processed through bank which are not happened in the business? So you may identify the reasons, like the payables department forgot to record the 5 payments in the system, or else that may be fraud which has happened in the company. So this is how the cash department should take the responsibility of cross-checking the records, okay, between the payables department and the bank statements. This we call as bank statement reconciliation. Here whatever we are discussing, it is related to only payment related reconciliation. The bank statement reconciliation, we are trying to reconcile only payments data. Okay, so this is the responsibility of cash department. So once, say, every department has their own responsibilities. So end of the day, if you need report, so if you need report related to payables department activities, yes, you can get from the payables department. If you need any reports related to purchase department, you can get from purchasing department. Inventory related activities, you can get inventory reports, and asset department related activities report, if you want to get, you can get from asset department. Cash department related reports, yes, you can get from cash department only. If you want to prepare any report which will reflect multiple department related activities, okay, which is specific to particular organization, you cannot get if the data is going to be managed department specific. So that is the reason you can maintain some common department who will take care of the responsibility, will get the data from all the departments, so that by using all the data you may prepare the financial reports. Okay, you may have some common department. Reality, as per business, there may be people will involve in this process. So you may have some common department. What common department they do is they'll just get that what cash department is doing, what payables department is doing, what asset department doing. That means there are various transactions which they are recording, and what inventory department is doing, purchasing department, all the data they will collect. So based on that, any sort of financial report they want to prepare, they can prepare it. So this is how these various departments involve the various activities if there is any requirement in the organization. So here what these departments are doing, if any requirement in the organization, inventory department is coming into the picture to raise a requisition to get the approvals. Based on the approved requisition, purchase department is raising RFQs, they are receiving the quotations, analysis, choosing the best and placing the order to supplier with approvals. Organization will receive the material, will record the GRN. If any returns, yes, will return to the suppliers. The GRN information purchasing department is sharing with the payables department. Payables department is creating the purchase invoice based on the GRN information. If the purchase invoice is related to asset purchase, the payables department should share the same information with the asset department. Based on that asset invoice, asset department would create asset, their books, and they'll calculate the depreciation as per the what asset and methods, etc. And payables department should share payment information with the cash department so that they can do the bank statement reconciliation. And along with that, the cash department responsibility is maintaining the bank account which are owned by company. And finally, all these departments can share the data with common department so that the common department will be in the position to prepare the financial report, okay, which will represent multiple department related business activities. So this is a standard process organizations follows if they want to buy something. Okay. So in case of the individual, all the activities should be done by same person. But when you talk about the organization, primarily these three departments are involving in the core activities. Which departments? Inventory department, purchasing department, payables department. Okay. So they are starting the process with the requisition, they are ending the process with the payment. Once we're done with the payment, this is additional information, additional activities. Payables department will share purchase invoice information with the asset department. The payables department will share payment information with the cash department. All the department will share the information with the other department, common department. It's internally takes place, but reality, these three departments are involving in the actual activities. Okay. Now, to do the same activities in the Fusion applications, Oracle is offering the separate applications for each and every department. For inventory department, to maintain the stock and to raise the purchase requisition, to get the approvals and to do many inventory department related activities, from Oracle, we have an application called as Oracle Fusion Inventory. We have an application called as Oracle Fusion Inventory application. The short name is INV. Okay. From Oracle side, we have Oracle Fusion Inventory application. By using the Oracle Fusion Inventory application, we can maintain the stock and we can create the requisition, purchase requisitions, and we can get the approvals. And apart from that, there will be a number of inventory warehouse activities, all can be managed within the Oracle Fusion Inventory application. And when we talk about purchasing department, so purchasing department is involving in all these activity, or else only they can involve in these activities, and other purchase related other activities they can do. These can be handled within the sourcing application. Okay. So whatever it may be, to understand where the purchasing department can involve, these are the points we have to consider. So to do all these activities, we have an application from Oracle which we call as Oracle Fusion Purchasing. The short name is PO. Here, if you notice, we are using the short name as PO for application as well as purchase order. Application point of view, PO means Oracle Fusion Purchasing application. Process point of view, PO means purchase order. Remember that. Okay. So PO means which application, you can say Oracle Fusion purchasing application. PO means which documents, means purchase order document. This is what we have to understand. And what payables department is doing? Payables department, they are just creating the purchase invoices based on the GRN information. They are making the payment to the supplier as per the due date. To handle these activities, we have an application from Oracle, which we call as Oracle Fusion Accounts Payable Application. Short name is AP. By using Oracle Fusion Accounts Payable application, we can create the purchase invoice and we can process the payments. Even within the Oracle Fusion Accounts Payables, you can manage the supplier's information. Even from purchasing application also, you can manage the supplier's information. Since we are trying to understand the process, those points are not required for us. Those we see as a part of classes, what else we can manage from each and every application. But to understand the process, so for payables, in the payables department, we record the purchase invoice and payments. For that, we have an application called as Oracle Fusion Accounts Payable Application. The short name is AP. What asset department is doing, based on the asset purchase information, what they are getting from the accounts payable department, they are creating the assets, they are calculating depreciation. Not only this, there will be a number of activities like retiring the asset, transferring the assets. So all the activities can be handled by asset department. To do all those activities, we have application from Oracle, which we call as Oracle Fusion Fixed Assets. Okay, Oracle Fusion Fixed Assets application. By using Oracle Fusion Fixed Assets, you can maintain the assets, you can calculate the depreciation, any other asset related activities you can perform within the fixed assets application itself. And what is the responsibility of cash department? They are maintaining the bank accounts and they are doing the bank statement reconciliation. See, take any application, we are taking the primary points, but once we get into the relevant application, we'll see the detail what we can do in that application. Okay. The cash department is maintaining the bank accounts and they are doing the bank statement reconciliations. To maintain the bank accounts and to perform the bank statement reconciliations, we have an application from Oracle, which we call as Oracle Fusion Cash Management. You can call as Cash Management CM. But if you call this application as a Cash Management CM short name, there is another application also from Oracle, that is Cost Management. That is also CM. That is the reason they given the alternative name for this as a CE also, short name. You can call Cash Management as CM or CE. CE means Cash Entry System. It is nothing but cash management only. So you can just remember these two short names for cash management. Those both will address cash management. Right? And all these departments will share the data with one common department. So as per system, to collect and maintain the data from all these applications, we have an application from Oracle, which we call as Oracle Fusion General Ledger Application. Short we call as GL. Okay. So these are the different applications we have from Oracle. By using Oracle Fusion General Ledger application, you can collect the data from all the other applications and you can prepare the financial reports. So reality, all these departments definitely should be in touch. Okay, inventory will have a communication with the purchasing should have a communication with the payables, and payables should have a communication with the asset department and cash department. All the departments should have a communication with the common department. However, reality, the business, the different departments will have a communication with other department. The same you can establish in the application environment also. In the Fusion also you can establish. So these are the different applications. Okay, these are the different applications. By using these applications, these are the activities you can do. So if you want to buy today, you have to raise the requisition, you have to get the approvals, and you have to raise RFQs and receiving quotation analysis, choosing best, placing order, receiving material, and creating the purchase invoice, making the payment, sharing the data with asset department, cash departments, finally sharing the data with common department or say general ledger application. And again, tomorrow, if you want to buy same laptops, you have to raise the requisition, you have to take the approvals, and you may not request for quotations. Say today you are purchasing, tomorrow again you are going to purchase, suppliers who can give at best price. So in tomorrow, if you are going to buy, RFQs, quotations may not be required. Directly you can place the order. You are going to buy after 1 month, same laptop. Within the 1 month duration, there could be some price fluctuation in the market for laptops. In that scenario, you may raise the RFQ. But it's anyway standard process which takes place across the departments. So this process, whatever we discussed, this process we call as P2P cycle. P2P cycle. P2P stands for, first P stands for procure. Okay. 2 means TO2. Other P stands for pay. Procure to pay. Right from procurement to till we make the payment, activities can be handled in this cycle. To procure, we are taking the initiative with the requisition and we are making the payment. Okay, right from requisition to till we make the payment, these activities we are handling by using these 3 departments or 3 applications. And these departments are are in touch with other departments to share the information. So this overall process we call as P2P cycle, procure to pay cycle. So why we are calling a cycle, it is cycling activity. If you buy today the same, all the departments should involve the same activities these departments should do. And if you are going to buy tomorrow also, yes, inventory should raise the requisition, purchasing department should purchase, payables department should pay, and that information need to be shared with the respective departments. And finally, that should goes to general ledger application or common department. This is cycling activity. Okay, it will keep repeating. Whatever we are doing one time, the same will keep repeated whenever you want to purchase something. That is the reason this we are calling a cycle. Okay, procure to pay, right from requisition to till we make the payment, what are the activities we are doing, those we are calling as P2P cycle. And these are the primary applications which are involved in the P2P cycle. Inventory, purchasing and payables departments. These 3 departments are involving in this P2P cycle. You can say these 3 applications are primary applications in the P2P cycle. The other applications are connected for information purpose only. They are not doing any business activities. Instead of getting the data from payables, they are not doing any activities. So this is what we have to understand when we are working on our financials application. If you know this process, everything will become easy. Okay, how the communication should take place between the departments, you can understand. Accordingly, we can work on the application. So any questions to understand this P2P cycle, please? Any questions from anyone, please?
Lakshman, we are creating, AP is creating a purchase invoice based on the GRN, right?
Correct.
And then GRN is creating based on, PO is creating GRN based on invoice from vendor, correct? Vendor invoice.
We get vendor invoice, but we don't depend on the vendor invoice. Always we depend on what we receive. Say we receive 10 quantity, but vendor invoice for 20 quantity. Which proof we have to consider? What we received only. That is the reason we'll give the importance to what we received, that you can see in the GR.
So what we received from vendor, that is can we treat that one as an invoice from vendor?
Yeah, invoice from vendor. We don't follow that invoice which we get from the vendor. We check our books. We got invoice from the supplier 20 quantity. Do you make the payment for 20 quantity? No. You have to check your records, how much you received. You receive 10 only. You have to create invoice in the payables application as per how much you receive. The copy would be there, but you refer your records. Ideally, you refer how much you receive.
Thanks, Lakshman.
Yeah, thanks. Any questions, please?
So Lakshman, here,
Yeah, please go ahead.
so here, where does the procurement come? Right now we did discuss Oracle Fusion Inventory, Fusion on purchasing, right? Is it a part of purchasing Oracle Fusion procurement or?
No. So this is one of the purchasing application. Okay. So along with the purchasing, we have a different applications. Okay. Along with these activities, what are the other activities you do? All together we call as procurement. So ideally, these activities we handle in the sourcing application. These activities we handle in the purchasing application.
Purchasing. Okay.
Yeah. These are sourcing. The same way, the same activities if you want to buy, if you want to do online, okay, with the communication with the supplier, we use supplier portal. The procurement, if you want to do online, you use self-service procurement or call as I-procurement. Okay, the procurement contracts. So these are all like what are the activities we are doing? That is additional facilities you can get with the different applications. Yep. So
Got it.
one of the applications from procurement suite.
Hi, Lakshman. Yeah, so what is the difference between the PO invoice and the non-PO invoice, and any changes in the approval flow?
Okay, fine. So if you are creating invoice directly in the payables without bothering about the PO which you have in the purchasing department, that we call as non-PO. If you are creating the invoice in the payables based on the PO which you have in the purchasing department, that we call as PO back invoice. Okay, you raised one PO and based on the PO you want to make the payment. That means create purchase invoice based on the PO, that we call as PO back invoice. No PO creating invoice in the payables, that we call as non-PO based invoice. These are all you'll understand in the classes. When you are working on the payables application, we have a 2-way, 3-way, 4-way matching. Invoice based on only PO, without PO, with PO and receipt, and PO and receipt and inspection also. Sometimes when you receive the material, we do the inspection also, right? So when you create invoice, through inspection, how much we accepted, accordingly we have to pay. So these are the different scenarios. All I'll be covering in the classes. Here just to understand the standard flow, we are discussing these points. But still you can, no issues. Any questions, please?
Lakshman?
1 second. When you are asking the questions, please make sure that you don't have any background noise. Yeah, please take care of that. Yeah, please go ahead.
Lakshman, in what scenario we create internal requisition and standard requisition?
Okay. Internal. Now, why we are creating purchase requisition to buy from the supplier. Okay. Purchase requisition, we are to buy from the supplier. If you want to get the material from other inventory, you can raise the internal requisition. Clear?
Is it for say if you want to manufacture?
No.
Some
reason can be anything. Simple point. You have 2 warehouses. You have 2 warehouses. You want to get the material from other warehouse to your warehouse. You have to tell to other warehouse as you need material, right? You have to address your requirement, how much you require from that warehouse. In that case, you create internal requisition. Internally only to get. If you want to get from the supplier, you have to create the purchase requisition. You are going to purchase, for that you are giving the requirement through requisition. That's it.
And the standard requisition?
Purchase requisition only you call as standard requisition.
Okay. So we have two types, is it? IR and what is this PR?
Yes.
Internal.
Yes. Any questions, please?
Internal requisition is basically stock transfer. We can say that from one warehouse to another warehouse. Stock transfer kind of.
Yes, yes. To get the stock from other warehouse to some targeted warehouse destination, we use internal, and to get the stock from the supplier, we use the purchase requisition or standard requisition.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So Lakshman, but the process is same for standard and internal requisitions, correct?
Yeah, we'll specify the parameters. When you create the purchase requisition, you'll specify source as a supplier. When you create the internal requisition, you'll specify source from whom we are going to get from other inventory. That's it. Process same, but elements. Okay, elements are different, and we don't receive the material from supplier in case of internal. We get from other warehouse. Document is different, and the process also accordingly we have to manage in the system. If you say process is same, no. Okay, process would be different. We'll raise the requisitions, types would be different, and when you are receiving also, one case we receive from supplier, other case we receive from other inventory. Process also different. Documents are different, process is different. Scenarios are different. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Lakshman. In P2P cycle, approvals are only two approvals, right? One from inventory, one from PO, right?
Correct. Requisitions and purchase orders, we have approvals.
So in inventory, department will approve that order, and then in PO department will approve that order, right?
Order means requisition. The inventory department should approve the requisition. The purchase department should approve the purchase order.
Okay. Thanks, Lakshman.
Yeah. Any questions, please?
Lakshman, what is the difference between the ERP P2P flow and Fusion or Cloud P2P flow?
No difference. P2P is P2P anywhere.
Oh,
P2P means what process to procure and to pay, what process organizations follows, that is the P2P cycle. It can be any application. No difference. Any questions, please? Okay. No questions.
Lakshman.
Please.
Hi. Here is the budget taking the place between the inventory and purchasing, or between the purchasing and the finance?
You can set how it is required. Like you may set only that budget should be applicable only in the general ledger application, or it should be applicable for the requisition, purchase order, invoice also. You can set.
Okay, thank you.
For which transactions that should be applicable, you can set it up. Accordingly,
yeah, sure.
Force the budgetary control.
This GRN is a manual, is a system document or a manual document, Lakshman?
What is the difference between system document and manual document?
So is it in the Oracle apps, like, once you receive goods, is there a form in Oracle apps where they have to say, how many?
Everything is the form. Everything is the form. Whatever we are discussing here, all are forms only.
Okay.
All are forms.
And once it goes to AP, they have to manually create invoice, or there is an automation on the basis of GRN?
Two options are there. You don't look into those points now, not required. Try to understand this process. There is a lot of stuff which you have to understand. There are many scenarios I'll be covering when we are in the payables. Now we are not in the payables, no need to understand. On what base we create purchase invoice, try to understand, then many things you will come to know when we are working on the payables. You have option to create purchase invoice standalone by referring the PO, by referring the GRN, or automatically you can create the purchase invoice in the payables based on the GRN, or else by taking the off of the information you can create invoice automatically in the payables. There are many scenarios. All we'll see in our classes. Okay, this session to understand the flow, the process. Okay. Any questions, please?
So Lakshman, do you have a separate course for SCM like procurement where you cover inventory and
Yes.
procurement?
Yes. We have a separate course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lakshman, how we do that bank statement reconciliation? Is it based on the files we're getting from the bank?
Yes. What are the files you get from the bank, or those you can put into the application, or you can enter into the application. So finally, like from payables, payment data would be available. From bank statement, whatever you enter or load, other side that statement data would be there. So manually you can verify, otherwise you can automate it.
Okay.
Lakshman,
Yeah.
while creating all those setup, do you require any sort of a programming language or anything to complete this complete course?
Not at all. Okay. So to do this course, frankly speaking, basic English communication skills are required and bachelor degree. No other prerequisites.
Okay. Lakshman, adding into that, I'm working in Oracle for 5 long years. So I just want to know if I opt in for this course. So basically, I don't require any kind of language to create or script to write.
No, not required. What you can do is maybe you can spend couple of hours time to learn basic SQL. Okay, that you can Google.
Okay, MySQL you are suggesting.
No, SQL, Oracle SQL.
Okay.
2-3 hours.
Okay, got it.
Not required. The basic statement, select statement, and these basic statements you can learn. Those will help you when you are working on the project to verify if any issue, to query the data from database. Maybe 2 to 3 hours.
Okay, so
Enough.
okay, got it. Lakshman, so how many test cases we will get through, on this course?
Test cases in the sense everything will be testing. All the scenarios will be testing. If you want to prepare the test cases, you can just accordingly, you can prepare as per the business requirement. So we are going to test each and every concept in our classes.
Okay, Lakshman, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions, please?
Lakshman, yeah, Lakshman, like how in inventory, approvals are required before, So in assets, while deciding to buy a property or a building, the request doesn't come from asset department, or approvals from asset department are not required in these scenarios?
Asset anyway, you are not going to maintain within the inventory, right? Okay, just you'll raise the requisition. Okay, just you'll raise the requisition. Definitely they'll have some communication. Okay, they'll have a communication. So application point of view, this is a process we have to follow.
Lakshman, one question as well from me.
Yep.
Just wanted to understand, will you also cover the the system role, concerning all of these flows, as you know what are roles relevant to each of these actions for the PO, PR, or the AP team, the cash management sides? Will this course cover that part as well?
No. The very initial point I didn't understand. What you said?
The role specific training, will there be role specific training as well?
Role specific, yes. So we see the entire course is, the role is Oracle Fusion Financial Functional Consultant. That is the role. Okay. When we are going to work as a Fusion Financial Functional Consultant, whatever we have to understand, those we are going to cover. So apart from that, if you are going to deal with a separate role, you can let me know accordingly. I'll just give you the information what you should understand.
Okay.
Yep. Fine.
So Lakshman, that includes segregation of duties as well, right?
Yeah, everything. Once you
Okay.
understand the product, you will come to know all those. Okay, everything is included. But if you cannot catch something which you are expecting to know, definitely you can raise the question. We'll discuss. The course includes everything. Any
Okay.
questions, please? Yeah. Fine. No questions on this P2P cycle. Now we'll look into sales process. Say sales department received order from the customer for 500 laptops. The sales department received one order from the customer, okay, for 500 laptops. Now sales department will check with inventory department whether stock is available or not. So inventory department is saying that 1000 laptops are available. Already discussed what is the responsibility of inventory department, right? So sales department received an order from the customer for 500 laptops. Now sales department should check with the inventory department whether stock is available or not to fulfill the customer requirement. Yes, inventory is replying to the sales department. Yes, we have 1000 laptops. Now what sales department has to do? Sales department should inform to the customer, yes, we are going to supply 500 laptops. So when sales department gets some order from the customer, they record in their books as a sales order. SO. If any order from the customer, okay, any order from the customer, sales department record that information in their books as a sales order. So customer point of view, why customer is placing the order to purchase, customer point of view, that is a purchase order. For customers, they record in their books as a purchase order. The same order once sales department will receive, okay, by other company, what they'll do, they'll record in their books as a sales order. Customer order will become sales order for supplier. For customer, the customer order is purchase order. For supplier, customer order they'll record as a sales order. They received an order from the customer, they'll record in their books as a sales order. Once they record the sales order, they have to check with the inventory department stock is available or not. Okay, so stock is available, then they can give the confirmation to the customer. That we call as booking sales order. Book sales order. So book sales order is nothing but giving the confirmation to the customer as they are going to supply. Say today organization sales department received 20 sales orders from 20 customers. All they may not confirm. Okay. All they may not confirm. Out of 20, they may confirm only 2 because they have a capability of supply for only 2 orders. So they may receive a number of orders from customer, which orders they can fulfill, against which orders they can supply the material. Accordingly, they'll do the confirmation. What are the confirmation the sales department does against the sales orders, that we call as booking the sales order. Okay. First, sales department should receive the orders from the customers. Then they have to give the confirmation. Before they give the confirmation, they have to check with inventory department. They have to check with the inventory department. If inventory department says, yes, we can supply, we have a stock, then they'll go with the booking. Say, for example, they received order for 500 quantity and they are checking with the sales department. They are checking with inventory department. Inventory department says we have a 0 stock. The sales department has to book or they should not book. That totally depends the time frame what customer is asking to supply. So sales department is saying we have one sales order, one order from the customer where we have to ship the material in 10 days. then they'll check with inventory, stock is not available. They can talk to the inventory department. We have to ship within 10 days. Is any possibility we can get the material and supply? In that case, inventory department will talk to purchasing department saying that we need so and so item and we have to supply to customer within 10 days. Is there any possibility we can get in 6 days or 7 days from our supply? So that's how inventory can talk to the purchasing department. If purchasing department says yes, we can get that material in 6 or 7 days and we can keep that available in the inventory, that can be supplied to customer. So that means if any supply possibility, in that case also sales department will go with the confirmation. Okay. If stock is available, they'll book the sales order. Sometimes stock may not be available. If there is any chance to purchase and supply, yes, in those scenarios also, sales department can book the sales order. So let's take the case, there is order from the customer and sales department given the confirmation to the customer as they are going to supply. The next activity is we have to ship the material from our inventory to customer location. So let's talk about how the inventory warehouse can be structured and managed. Okay, you will see these simple specifications. So total area you can treat as a warehouse inventory, and within that inventory there could be some partitions. If you just look at any warehouse, there could be some partitions. The partitions they can call as sub inventory 1, 2, 3. In sub-inventory 1, they may maintain the phones. The sub-inventory 2, they may maintain the laptops. In sub-inventory 3, they can maintain the desktops. In sub-inventory 4, they may maintain something else. Okay. So this is how they can maintain the different sub-inventories within the inventory warehouse. Say you are purchasing from supplier. When you purchase from supplier, directly you may not place the material in the specific sub-inventory. First you will take into staging area. Okay, staging area. Staging area means before you place the material in the actual location where you have to place, you can place in some staging area, some common place. You will get the material from the supplier, you will place, then this material need to be placed in which is sub-inventory, you can plan and accordingly you can place. The same way, if you are going to supply the material to customer, you have to pick the material from specific sub-inventory and you have to place in one location. From there you can send to the customer. That means when you are receiving the material into targeted sub-inventory, first you will take into staging. When you are shipping the material to customer, you pick the material from the sub-inventories and you will place in the some specific area. Then from there you can ship to the customer. You may move the material from the sub-inventory 1 to this place, okay, this specific place, and there you may load into the truck. From there you can ship to the customer. This is a common area. Okay, this is a common area. So this common area, okay, we use to move the material from the actual places. From sub-inventory you can move the material to common place. From there you can ship to the customer. So this is how ideally inventory can be structured, warehouse can be structured. So now what inventory department has to do is, say we got order for laptops. Now laptops are available in the sub-inventory 1. Now what inventory department has to do, they have to move the material from sub-inventory 1 to this shipping area. Okay, or you can call as staging area or common place. Since we are going to ship, you can call as shipping area. So they move the material from sub-inventory 1 to shipping area. Who is going to do this activity? This physical activity can be done by inventory department. So whenever inventory department will move these 500 laptops from sub-inventory 1 to this shipping area or common area, or call it a staging area, the inventory department should inform to the sales department the same information. Okay, because in sales department is responsible to handle the customers. Okay, customer will call to sales department saying that what about my order? You said you will be delivering today. If there is no proper communication with inventory department to sales department cannot answer to customer queries. So whenever inventory department will move the material from sub-inventory 1 to this shipping area, they'll inform the same to sales department. The same they'll record in the books, saying that against so-and-so customer order, material is moved from sub-inventory to staging. Whenever material is moved from sub-inventory to staging, the sales department will record in their books as quick release is happened. Quick release. Moving material from sub-inventory to staging we call as quick release. Now if they get any call from the customer, they can answer. Already we just moved material, it is ready for loading. If this information is not there to sales department from inventory, sales department cannot inform to supplier what is going on within their organization against the sale, their sales order. So that is the reason what exactly they are doing against the sales order, there should be communication from inventory to sales department. So whenever inventory department will move the material from sub-inventory to staging area, that will be tracked by sales department as a quick release. Whenever we move the material from this our organization to customer organization, so the same information they'll inform to sales department saying that we ship the material to customer. So then sales department will track in their books as a ship confirmation. They'll record as a ship confirmations happen. Now if any call from the customer, sales department can answer, today morning only we shipped, you will be receiving by today or tomorrow based on the distance. So that's how these activities need to be handled by sales department. Say we ship the material to the customer, how much quantity? 500. The customer may return the laptops. So during this transportation, 10 laptops got damaged. In that case, the sales returns also will be handled by sales departments. Okay, so this is a primary responsibility of sales department. When they get order from the customers, they record as a sales orders, and based on the stock availability or supply possibilities, they can book the sales order. Whenever inventory department will move the material from sub-inventory to staging, that they'll track in their books as a quick release already completed. And whenever inventory will move the material from our organization to customer organization, that they'll capture in their books as a ship confirmation is done. And any returns from the customer, they'll record the sales returns. So that is the responsibility of sales department. And they're always in the touch with the inventory department with respect to stock availability. So once ship confirmation is done, sales department will pass the information to receivables department saying that for so and so customer, so and so quantity we shipped, and customer has to pay within 10 days or 1 week. That information they'll pass to receivables department. That means the sales department will pass ship confirmation details to receivables department. Based on the ship confirmation details to which customer what quantity is shipped, based on those details, receivables department will create sales invoice in their books. What information you can find in the sales invoice? Who is the customer? What is the customer address? How much quantity, which item we sold, and how much quantity, how much amount customer has to pay, when customer is going to pay, how customer is going to pay, okay, to where customer has to send the payment. All the details will be in the sales invoice. Say customer has to pay within 10 days. After 10 days, receivables department will receive the payment. Of course, for that, receivables department should follow up the customer based on the sales invoice. Definitely receivables department should follow up the customers. So then they'll get the payment from the customer. Then receivables department will record in their books as a receipt. You can call as cash receipt. Okay, whenever they get the payment from the customer against the sale, which is done by sales department, they'll record the receipt. That means as per receivables, they'll get the payment from the customer against the sales invoice. So once they receive the sales invoice, once they receive the payment from customer, they record the receipt. The receipt would be always against specific sales invoice. Now receivables department will share this receipt information with the cash department for bank statement reconciliation. Already we discussed cash department. Okay, take the responsibility of maintaining the bank accounts which are owned by company. Another primary responsibility is the cash department can perform the bank statement reconciliations. Bank statement reconciliations. So that is the responsibility of cash department. Now they get the receipt information from receivables department. Okay, so they take your side receipts. Say as per receivables department in this month we received 10 receipts, and as per bank statement maybe 15. Okay, they take the information from receivables. Okay, simply you can write as receivables. Fine. From receivables department, they will take the information as per receivables books, how many receipts, as per bank statement, how many receipts. They have to cross-check. As per receivables department, 10 payments only they received from customer, but as per bank statement, 15 are reflecting. What is the difference? Why the difference we have as a 5? The reason may be the people who are working in the receivables department, they might have forgot to record the 5 payments which they received. Without recording in their books, they might have submitted checks to the bank, so those might have cleared. That is the reason as per bank statement 15 are reflecting. Or else as per receivables 10, but as per bank statement only 5. Yes, as per receivables department 10 payments are received, but only 5 are reflecting in the bank statement. You received 10 checks, you might have submitted only 5 checks to the bank for clearing. Remaining 5 checks may be with the receivables department. These all need to be identified by doing the bank statement reconciliation. Here this we call as receipts reconciliation. In the P2P cycle we discussed payment reconciliation. Here we are discussing receipts reconciliation. And finally, this all the information all the departments should share with the common department to prepare the financial reports. Okay, to prepare the financial reports, all the departments should share the information with the common department so that common department can prepare the financial report by collecting the data from all the departments. Now to perform all these department specific activities, we have a separate applications from Oracle. To handle inventory related activities, we have an application called as Oracle Fusion Inventory. Already we discussed this in the P2P cycle. Oracle Fusion Inventory application. Okay, we have application from Oracle, that is Oracle Fusion Inventory. And what sales department is doing, they are recording the sales orders, they are booking, nothing but they are giving the confirmation to the customer. Based on the inventory activities, they are doing the quick release ship confirmation. If organization is very big, along with the sales department, there could be separate shipping department also. But within our applications, by using the particular application, shipping also you can handle. So they do the ship confirmation. Whenever inventory will do that ship confirmation, they'll track it. If any is returns from the customer, that can be handled by sales department. To do all these activities, there is an application from Oracle, which we call as Oracle Fusion Order Management. Short name is OM, Order Management. By using Oracle Fusion Order Management application, you can create the sales orders, you can do the booking, quick release, ship confirmation, sales returns, and many other activities which are related to order management department or sales departments. So this ship confirmation details, the sales department should share with the receivables department. So receivables department should create the sales invoice and they have to record the receipt whenever they get the payment. To record the sales invoices and to process the receipts, For receivables department, we have application called as Oracle Fusion Accounts Receivable Application, which we call as AR. By using our Oracle Fusion Accounts Receivable Application, you can create the sales invoices and you can process the receipts. And this receipt information, receivables department should share with the cash department. The cash department should take the responsibility of maintaining the bank accounts and they perform the bank statement reconciliations. So to do those activities, we have application called as Oracle Fusion Cash Management. The same we discussed in the P2P also. So you can call it CM or CA. By using this application, please go on mute. Somebody is muted. We can. Yeah, please go ahead.
Lakshman, nobody's using order management anymore.
Sorry?
There are no people calling in. Nobody's using order management. No one's calling in and placing phone orders anymore, right?
Your voice is not clear and much audible. What is your question?
I was saying that no one's using order management for entering orders, order entry. Orders come through Salesforce. Is there any integration with Salesforce?
See, if you say the statement nobody is using, that is wrong. If you ask the question, is there an integration with the Salesforce? Yes. There are many companies who are using order management, who are using the Oracle applications. Yeah.
Can you give me some names? Because I don't
you
know.
Can integrate. Any application you can integrate with the Fusion applications. Okay, fine. So that's all about CM or CE. And to collect all the data from different departments to prepare the financial reports, we have Oracle Fusion General Ledger. By using this, we can prepare the financial report. See, the many clients are using the Oracle, even EBS or Fusion applications. All clients are using Oracle Fusion order management application only. Okay, so
Salesforce is the biggest order management tool.
That is true. That is true. That is altogether separate product. Who are interested to use it, they are using. Okay, maybe as per your experience, the level of experience you have, whatever you have seen, accordingly you might have given that statement as nobody is using. Many clients are using, almost who are using the Oracle applications, 99% all are using Oracle Fusion order management only for sales order process.
I had the same experience.
If you have an order that comes from Salesforce, does that go to order management or will it go directly into inventory?
See, how they are planning, that is very important. Okay, so if they want to create the, based on the orders, they want to create the invoice in the receivables, automatically they can connect Salesforce with receivables application. Or else the sales related various activities they want to do in the Salesforce, finally orders need to be orders you want to take into order management, they can connect Salesforce with order management. Which data they want to get into which application, accordingly they can integrate the Salesforce. Before that, we have to see what is a possible, not possible in the Salesforce before you integrate with the specific application. Okay. Vivek, your audio is not at all clear.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Not at all clear. Okay, no issues. So this is the point we have to understand. To do these activities, these are the different applications are available from Oracle. So this is the responsibility of sales department to handle all those activities. We have a Oracle Fusion Order Management for account receivables. These are the activities for cash management and the general ledger application. So this process, okay, this process we call as O2C cycle. We call as O2C cycle. So O2C stands for order to cash. Okay, order to cash cycle. So in this process, right from order to till we receive the cash, activities can be handled, and this department, the sales department, should be in touch with the inventory department. So primarily these three departments are involving in this O2C cycle, order to cash.
Lakshman, are you going to cover the revenue recognition also?
Revenue recognition is one of the concept as a part of receivables application. Okay, we'll see that, how the revenue can be recognized if you have any sort of simple agreements with your customer. That is simple function we have as a part of receivables. Those points we'll discuss later. If you want to understand specific features, whether we are going to cover or not, those you can find in the course curriculum, or else we'll discuss in the end of the session. Right. So Oracle inventory, okay, Oracle order management, Oracle Fusion accounts receivable. There are three primary applications which are involved in the O2C cycle. The receivables will share the information with the cash management, and the same receivables and all other applications will share the information with Oracle Fusion General Ledger application. This is the point we have to understand. When I talk about O2C cycle, we have to consider all these applications, or say all these departments. Okay, O2C cycle, order to cash, right from the order to till we receive the cash receipt, all the activities can be handled in the cycle. And again, this is cycling activities. Whenever you get order from the customer, you have to create order, you have to book, weekly ship confirmation, create invoice, and receive the payment from customer, and communicate the same information with the other departments. This is a very cycling activity. Okay, whenever you get order from the customer, that is the reason this also we are calling as a cycle, order to cash cycle. Okay, any questions here, please? Any questions from anyone to understand the O2C cycle?
So Lakshman, inventory, cash management, and GL, all three models are will share and exactly same in O2C and P2P, correct?
Yeah. The same. What are common applications or departments also, I'm going to take you through in the next slide. The point is correct. Okay, we are going to see that what departments involved in the individual P2P and O2C cycles, which are common departments in the two cycles, those also we'll see. Just to understand these points, what you could see on the screen like as O2C cycle. Any questions, please? Okay, no questions.
Lakshman.
Yeah.
Bank statement reconciliation we do separately for separately in P2P and O2C, or both are exactly same?
Both, because from payables, payments will come to cash management. From receivables, receipts will come to the cash management. At a time you can do it. Since we are discussing these cycles as a separate, I address separately.
Thank you.
Any other questions, please?
So Lakshman, so basically to find out if any mismatch in the receipt and payments we did in cash management, that is what we find.
Yeah. The reality, we have to, everything should sync. What you are recording as per your books related to cash, it can be payment or receipt. The same should reflect in the bank statement also. Okay, to identify what is the mismatch, what is the difference we have, and the reasons, we have to do that. Otherwise, there are many chances where someone can do the fraud related to money related transactions.
So this department works closely with the bank, looks like, right?
Correct. They maintain all the bank accounts which are owned by company, and they involve in the reconciliation part.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions?
Lakshman,
Yeah.
how we are handling returns here, Lakshman? Are we doing reversing everything?
What returns?
For example, if you are selling laptops, 100 laptops, among 100, maybe 2 are returned. So how we are doing the transactions, how we are updating the inventory?
Yeah. There is a process for that. Say when you do the returns, okay, when you do the sales returns, so automatically system will create one credit memo in the receivables to reduce the amount against the sales invoice. The sales invoice may be for a 10,000 worth of the quantity we return. We have to reduce 1,000. We have to pay. You have to receive the payment from the customer for only 900, right? We have automation in the system. And what are the return we received? That information, the sales. Whenever you do the sales returns, that information, how much quantity you received, that you will be taking into inventory application against the sales order.
Thank you.
That is separate process. Return. When you do the returns, how you receive that returned customer return quantity into inventory. By creating the receipt, you will receive into inventory.
Okay, thank you.
Fine. So any other questions here, please? No questions. Now we'll go and see these two cycles. Hope you remember each application short name, right? Oracle Fusion Inventory INV, Oracle Fusion Purchasing PO, Oracle Fusion Accounts Payables AP, Oracle Fusion Cash Management CMR CE, and Oracle Fixed Assets FA, Oracle Fusion General Ledger GL, and Oracle Fusion Order Management OM, Oracle Fusion Accounts Receivable AR. These are the short names you should remember. If you remember those short names, now we'll see both cycles at a time here. So these are the two P2P and O2C cycles, whatever we discussed just now. So this part is related to P2P. So in inventory, we'll maintain the stock related items and we raise the requisitions, we go with approvals. There are a number of other activities also you can manage within the inventory. And in inventory, we'll pass that approved requisition information with a PO, purchasing application. They'll just raise RFQs, they request for quotation, they'll get quotation, they do analysis, they'll choose the best quotation, they'll create the PO, they'll place the PO to suppliers with approvals. When the organization receive the material, they record the GRN and purchase returns if required. The purchasing department will pass GRN information with the AP department, accounts payables department. Based on that, the purchasing accounts payables department can create the purchase invoices and they can process the payments. The AP can share that information with the cash management, which information? Payment information for bank statement reconciliation. And the AP can share the purchase invoice information if that is related to asset purchase. AP will share information with FA, which information? Asset related purchase invoice information. Based on that, FA can prepare assets, they can create assets and they calculate the depreciation. So finally, all the information from all these applications will send the data to GL. When I talk about receivables O2C cycle, or say simply O2C cycle, when I talk about O2C cycle, so order management, nothing but sales department. Okay, we use OM, order management application, Oracle Fusion order management. The OM, we record the sales orders, we do the booking based on the stock availability within the inventory, and whenever there is a movement for the item from sub inventory to staging, the OM, within the OM we record the pick release. Whenever inventory ship the material to customer, that we track as a ship confirmation, and any sales returns will record the sales returns. And the order management, okay, we'll pass that information or ship confirmed information with the account receivables application or department. So based on that, we create sales invoice in the AR and we'll create the receipt. AR will share receipt information with the cash management for bank statement reconciliation. Finally, all the information will share with the GL to prepare the financial reports, right? To prepare the financial reports from all the departments, all the applications. For every department, we have a separate application. We can prepare the financial reports. If you notice here, these are the three applications or three departments are common for P2P and O2C. Okay, these are three common departments. Remaining, you can see those are completely specific to cycles. Now we are going to work on our financials application. These are the financials application where primarily we are going to focus. Our course is completely related to finance. So we are going to learn primarily general ledger application, AP, AR, CM, and FA. So along with that, there are a few other basic applications which you have to understand. We'll work on those also. And the inventory, PO, order management. These applications falls under product family called as SCM, supply chain management. If you notice, the OM is tightly connected with the AR for invoice creation, and PO is connected with the AP for purchase invoice information. Since these are tightly connected with our finance, SCM applications are tightly connected with the finance application, we have to understand the basics of SCM also. In our classes, we'll work on this P2P and O2C cycles so that you can understand, but primarily we have to focus on these. Okay, so these are financial applications, these are SCM applications, and apart from GL, okay, all other applications we call as subledger applications. Okay, apart from GL, all applications we call as subledger applications. Why we are calling all applications as subledger compared to GL? So say for example, in each application we have a 10 records, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 applications we have. In 7 applications we have 10 records. The total 10 from all the applications will get into GL. GL will have a total 70 records. So if you compare these 70 records with any application, in 70 those are subparts only. That is the reason all other applications we call as subledger applications. Notice this point. So what do you mean by subledger applications? Other than GL, all applications are subledger applications. So from each application, we get the data into GL to prepare the financial reports. Other than GL, all applications are subledger application. Each application you can call as a module also. Module is a technical term. You can call application or module. Generally, we use the term called as application. So this is what we have to understand about P2P cycle. If you are very clear about P2P cycle, if you are going to work on payables, what is it before, what is after, how these payables will have a communication with which department or which application would be clear. Without understanding this P2P cycle or O2C cycle, if you are going to create the purchase invoice in the AP, you can understand how to create, why you are creating, which invoice you have to share with FA, which data you have to share with the cash management, what base you are creating in the invoice in the purchase payables application, you cannot understand. So the cycles are very important. How the business process takes place in the organizations. Accordingly, we have these applications which are well connected to streamline the same process in the system environment also. Any questions from anyone, please?
While taking example, Lakshman, you will be taking a live kind of an example for showing these flows, so
Yeah,
that when we
everything reality we do how what base we do the same way we'll discuss. Okay.
So when we go for cloud interview and he says where did you implement, so maybe we can give your example and say that this is what we have done at the client side. So
See,
that makes it little
here
more easy.
example in the sense, so there will be futures. Take example payables. Okay, you have a say for example few type of invoices in the payables. Which invoice, so and so invoice, what is the business case? If they ask you, you can answer. I'll tell you in the classes. Okay. So
Say,
payment when we can use, in which business scenario, in which requirement you can use it. So what are the functionalities, features they given as per product, in which business case we can use, everything we'll discuss so that you'll be able to answer.
yeah. So say for example, a servers at Cisco, we are putting in inventory, then adding prices and shipping. So we can give an example of Cisco. I implemented at Cisco servers, and this is what, something like that.
You can use some names. You can use some names, but you'll understand the product, how the reality this can be used when you implement for any client. Hope you can explain now very detailed level. If somebody is going to ask the question called as what do you mean by P2P, explain. You can explain now. If somebody
Correct.
would ask you, could you please explain O2C cycle detail level, you can explain now. That's what we discussed. Right?
Yes, Lakshman. Yeah, yeah.
The same way everything will discuss. You will understand so that you will be in the position to answer. From your side, preparation is required. Now, we discussed about P2P and O2C. Hope you are clear. When you are clear, that is not enough. If I ask you the question, how we discussed, you cannot explain. You have to spend some time for preparation. Okay, now I'll ask the question, could you please explain P2P? You will struck, you know, you understood, but the content should be ready in your mind with the more confidence and flow of explanation. For that, you have to do some hard work, reading the content and thinking about that. And if you have an opportunity to present to someone, you can give some presentation. It may be in the home with your family members. You can explain to someone today. Okay, today I will explain you P2P cycle. You can present. That will become your experience. When you sit in front of interviewer, your confidence levels will remain good. So to speak anything, whatever you know. If you don't do that practice, if you attend the classes, you can understand when I explain, but you cannot reach the stage to explain in the better way to someone else what you know. That's very important again. Possible, give the presentations what you are learning. Okay, the long back when we used to run the online classroom training, we made the task as a mandatory. Everyone should give the presentation and they have to take the feedback from all the other students. It's a mandatory. So that's what we did. Now, since these are online classes, we cannot put this rule. Okay, so you can take the initiative from your end. Whatever you are learning, you can give presentation to someone. Maybe useful, may not be useful for them. For your benefit, you can give presentation to someone. It will become practice for you. When you go for interview, so already you have a like experience where you can speak about it. That will help you a lot. That's very important. Any questions, please?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions from anyone?
So Lakshman, even though we are doing the financials, any client is using Oracle financials, they should have supply chain also, right? Because without PO, there is no AP. Without OM, there is no AR, correct?
It is not mandatory, but most of the clients who are going with Oracle Fusion Financials, they'll go with SCM also. But there are very few clients, what they do is they go with only financials from Oracle. They might be having some other applications to manage their inventory, PO and OM. In that case, those applications they'll integrate with the AP. So based on the receipt information, what they have, they'll create the invoice in the AP. That's how they plan. But most of the clients who are implementing Fusion Financials, generally, very generally, they'll go with SCM also.
So what type of third party they use, Lakshman? If
There are a number of. Okay, there are a number of. So it could be some companies, it may be some their internal tool which they developed, or else it could be some any application they can use. Some clients are using a few applications from Oracle, few applications from SAP. Okay, few clients are using with different other ERP applications.
But 90% of the clients who are using Oracle Fusion Financials, they're using Fusion supply chain, correct?
You can say more than 90. Okay, in this scenario,
okay.
You can say more than 90.
Okay, thank you.
See, if supply chain process is very important for that organization, if that organization is going to implement Oracle Fusion Financials, ideally they go with this Oracle Fusion SCM only. Okay, generally they don't go with a different application. Yep. That's how it works.
Yeah, thank you, Lakshman.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions from anyone, please? Okay, no questions, we can wind up for today. We'll connect in the next session. Any questions, please?
Lakshman, how many, how soon can we complete this course? Like, so that we are up and running? Daily 3-4 hours, or how does it work?
It's total 100 hours course.
Okay.
You may increase this number of hours with your questions.
Mm-hmm.
100 hours
So,
discussion.
So daily 3 hours?
Okay, if required, I'll increase. If not required, it may be decreased also. But you can take as 100 hours. So if required, we'll increase also. If we are going to have many questions and some other reasons, we may increase. But you can take as it's a 100 hours duration course to understand complete financials along with this P2P O2C with integrations. And we'll discuss whatever you require. If you want to work as a Oracle Fusion Financial Consultant, you should be in the position to handle everything with that role. So I'll take care of all those. So for that, we may need minimum 100 hours.
So daily 3 hours?
Duration is now, as of now, we are running 2 hours, and going forward, will increase to 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions, please?
So Lakshman, posting to GL will happen only with the end of the periods, right? Then
Anytime
when we open.
Anytime.
Oh, okay.
So you have in AP 10 invoices. You created today, immediately you want to send to GL, you can send it. Or else after 1 week, entire week invoices you want to send, you can send it. Or else you created 10 invoices, only one invoice you want to send to GL, you can send it. Or else whatever invoices you are creating in the payables you want to send at the end of the month, yes, you can do that. How you require, you can do it.
Oh, thanks, Lakshman. So basically, we need to post to GL whenever we want.
Yeah, we
It's
have
not
transfer.
It's not automatic.
Transfer.
It is not automatic. Okay.
Yeah, you can automate also. That is also you can do. All options are available.
Okay, thank you.
In our classes, we'll come to know all those. The same applicable for other applications also. Any questions, please?
So there is no connection from pivot to GL and OM to GL, right?
No. Here already the connection arrow mark I given. That is reason separately I am not marking. From inventory to GL also connection is there. It is flowing like this, right? That is the reason I didn't mark a separate arrow mark.
Okay. So basically, we can post from inventory to GL.
All applications got connectivity with the GL to share the data. All applications.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So any questions, please?
Instant charges will be provided.
Invoice accrual.
Vivek, I cannot take your questions because your audio is not clear. Any questions, please?
So Lakshman, hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So what is the importance of the this training and certification? I mean, can we use this training as a standalone training, or do we have to do the certification after the training?
See, certification sometimes it will add some value, but it cannot help you to get the job, frankly speaking. You may have all the certifications which are available from Oracle, but when you go for interview, totally they'll scan us with the questions. Okay. If you want to have a certification, yes, you can have. So somewhere it can be recognized. Certification is not mandatory, not that much so great, frankly speaking. Okay. So you have to be okay with the product. Once you are okay with the product, if you want to do the certification, you can do it. Or else if you don't have a certification, nobody will see something as a negative point in your profile. There are many people, they have multiple certification in their profile. When you ask some question, they cannot answer, frankly speaking. There are many ways how to get the certifications in the market if you have money.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions, please?
Hi, Lakshman. The sessions are, I mean, yesterday and today's session are very detailed. I believe, it will be very detailed. That is why you are considering 100 hours. So, but a person
Correct.
who is having already experience in EBS, right? Is there any fast track or kind of, for example, only for the to know the difference between EBS and Fusion kind of sessions? Any plans on that, or have you conducted
See,
any time?
I'm running these Fusion classes from last 4 years. I started Fusion online classes from 2016. Till the time, till last session also, every session I'm going with that approach only, where there will be EBS guys. We have to give primary just kind of importance to them, and that's how we are running. From this batch, I totally started taking the classes from the scratch. There may be people from EBS, may not be, but everything we are going to cover from scratch. If you want to just understand the based on your EBS knowledge, if you want to understand, we have previous batch videos. You may go through it. Other side, if you want to attend these classes, you can attend.
Okay, yeah, understood.
Okay.
So the previous classes, how long the hours is, I mean, total?
Those are around 70 hours.
Okay.
You can get everything. You can get everything what you need from the Fusion when you have EBS knowledge or experience. It could be anything. Even if you have a knowledge without experience also, those are more than enough.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. So any questions,
Lakshman,
please?
Lakshman, financial course is good enough, or we have to take a SEM session also?
Not required. Finance is enough. After learning financials, after getting jobs, still if you have interest and time availability, then you can plan for SEM. Just to try for the job, both are not required.
Okay.
Even in the project also, 99% you don't get chance to work on the two areas, okay, at a time. So they'll have a separate resource for finance and SEM. That is the reason the finance is enough. But within the finance, we should not plan. I'll be focusing on GL, APR. I don't want to focus on CMFA. If you try with this classification, that doesn't work. Minimum this core financials, you should be okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions, please?
Hi, Lakshman. This
Yeah.
is Navya.
Yeah, please.
So like I want to join this weekday batch. So is there any current batch going on weekdays?
Weekdays, we are going to start in the next month. Okay. Maybe in the next month, first we will start the new batch. You can be part of it based on your interest.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe that also you'll be saying it from scratch, right? Like this
Yes,
session?
yes. Correct.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
Lakshman, is the SEM classes are going parallelly with this, or is it a separate schedule if would like to join the SEM as well?
Already we are running the SEM batch. We are almost about to complete it. When we start the new batch, we'll get a communication from the team.
Okay, thank you.
Fine. Thank you.
And Lakshman, how long is the SEM course where this one is like 100 hours? How about SEM?
That would be little less, maybe 80 to 90. I think last batch we had, I think 80 plus hours. I don't remember, around 80 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is very less applications, right? So that is the reason it's the number of hours are
right
compared to that. Fine. Any questions from anyone, please? If no questions, we can wind up for today.
Lakshman, say once we join and for some reason we want to join the next batch, whatever reason, is that okay? After 6 months, if you want to attend another session to
within 1 year period, you can say you are joining in this batch. You are going to drop maybe after a few days or weeks. Then you can be part of other batch. And the duration is 1 year. Within the 1 year, you can be part of any other batch. But if you complete the training in this batch, again, we don't allow in other batch. Only one batch we allow. If you drop, yes, you can join. You can be part of other batch.
And in this course, first you will be taking inventory PO and P2P and O2C to start with.
Those we will discuss going forward. Okay, what is the sequence we are going to follow? You can just understand. So before the reasons and all, now if I start talking, the points may not be known for many people. That is the reason I'm not going to talk about. If I say I'm going to start with the so-and-so application, you may ask me why. There is some reason. If I talk about the reason, the points are very much new for many people. That is the reason I'm not talking about it. But if you talk about application point of view, first I'll start with the AP. Okay, after AP, P2P cycle. After P2P cycle, ER. After ER, O2C cycle. After that, cash management. Then fixed assets, GL. That's how we'll cover.
Okay, thank you.
Why I'm going to cover with that sequence, we will understand in the classes. There are certain points why we should go with that sequence to learn the product.
Lakshman, do you take CLM classes too? Oracle CLM?
Oracle?
Contract CLM, contract lifecycle management?
Yeah. Well, what you are saying about that application?
Yeah, the CLM. Yeah. Contract lifecycle.
No. What is your question? Yeah, I got the application name. You are saying, what is your question?
No, I'm asking, do you take that classes too?
Oh,
like,
no.
For CLM, no?
So I'm dealing with only finance and SCM. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
We handle like HCM, PPM also, but we have a separate trainers for HCM, PPM, and other areas. So
okay.
Of finance and SCM based on my experience.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So BPM doesn't cover in the SCM. Is it a separate thing?
We cover BPM in our finance also. That is for approvals.
Yeah. But do you have separate course for only especially for BPM?
No. That is not separate course. When you create invoices and the payables, you have to set the approvals for invoice. That set up through BPM. When you create the journals in the GL, you have to set up the approvals. That also will set. And even when you create the requisition and purchase orders also, whatever approvals we set, those we set through BPM. We are going to see in our classes how to create the rules.
So is it AME is called as BPM in Fusion?
Yeah, in EBS we use AME. Now no more AME in the Fusion. In that place they released BPM, Business Process Management. It's similar to AME, Approval Management Engine, what we have in EBS. In Fusion we call as BPM, Business Process Management. There is similarity but not exact the same. Compare with EBS. So any other questions, please?
So Lakshman, last time you mentioned financials is most of the clients are using financials compared to SCM. That's what, right?
Yeah, most of the clients. See, for every company, the finance is the backbone. There are many companies who are using only financials. Okay, take primarily banks. Okay, the financial institutions, they go with the only financials from the Fusion. The other applications, they use third-party applications. There are many banks implemented Oracle Fusion financials. They are using. They implemented only financials. Many other companies also. So along with the financials, they go with some other applications also, which are very important as per their business process. But if somebody is going to implement Fusion applications, 99% definitely they'll opt for finance. Finance is very hot cake within the Fusion, or in even EBS also.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So any other questions, please? If no questions, we can wind up.
Any plans for EBS guys who have a lot of experience in EBS but they want to move to cloud. Lakshman, any quick what you call?
Oh, I think already we done for them for last 4 years. So I'm not planning for only, especially for EBS guys.
We have to go through 100 hours, is it?
What happening, you know, what happening, when I'm running the classes for EBS focus, there are many people who are joining without any experience or knowledge about these applications. There are many people moving from technical to functional and DBAs or freshers, etc. I could see the majority of the people who doesn't have EBS experience. That is the reason I'm giving the priority for who got more majority. So that is the reason I'm running the classes from the scratch. The people who has experience, if they want to refresh once again, yes, they can attend these classes. Otherwise, we have a videos, so they plan for that. They can play those videos still if they want to attend these classes. Yes, they can attend. Any questions, I would be available.
Yeah, thank you, Lakshman.
Thanks. So, any questions, please?
Thank you, Lakshman. Very good presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Any
Thanks, Lakshman.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any questions from anyone, please? Okay, seems to no questions. Okay, we'll just wind up for today. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you all. Have a good day and good night.
Okay, thank you, Lakshman. Okay.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you, Julian.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.